All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. Again, thanks for watching this channel. Thanks to everyone for putting up with me. I'm going to be talking about a great Canadian band on this episode. And before I do that, here is Grand, second to none. This is not a project band, okay? This is a real rock band. I know there are some people who do high profile radio shows that say, well, all this music coming out from, places like Sweden or Norway or wherever, it's not real. These are just project bands. No, this is a real band. In fact, I spoke to the lead singer. He seemed pretty real to me. Second to None is Grand's second album. This is an AOR album. It doesn't make your ears bleed, but it's pretty up tempo. Most of it is pretty up tempo, probably a couple of ballads on here, but it's the kind of music that I can relate to. So again, Grand, pretty cool car. That's what the back cover looks like, courtesy of our friends over at Frontiers Music. Now, speaking of great AOR bands, Triumph will never get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This, according to Rick Emmett, and he says it's because of huge prejudice against bands like his. Yes, 100% correct. In fact, we're going to see this year if that prejudice is going to subside a little bit, because Foreigner has been nominated. And there's some buzz about Foreigner getting in there because Lou Gramm is retiring. Mick Jones is in poor health. And, if Foreigner was to get in, you got to do it soon. You can't just keep putting this off. I mean, let these guys enjoy their accomplishments and then, reward them accordingly and get them on stage. It's like the Moody Blues. By the time they put the Moody Blues in the Hall of Fame, it's like these guys were on stage saying, man, we're old. Why did you wait so long? And they did. The drummer, I think, said that. And they had just lost, I think it was Ray Thomas at the time. And that was like a couple of months prior. I think they had been nominated when Ray was still alive. But then, they just wait too long. And these are obvious choices. Nobody in their right mind would say, yeah, the Moody Blues, they don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, Triumph, because of their sound, they're bombastic, they're loud, they write big hooks, they write these optimistic songs. What's weird? I don't think I've heard Magic Power on the radio. I don't know how long that's been since I've heard that song. That is like Don't Stop Believing on steroids. You want a positive message? Now people say magic, or are they into like, I don't know, witchcraft or something? No, it's just go listen to the song. It's inspirational, right? And it's kind of like from the Journey Happy Go Lucky playbook. But Rick Emmett, just an incredible singer. And people have forgotten. I mean, another great voice, too, that people often don't even list with other great singers. But that guy, I mean, just insane range and a pretty unique sound, too. They were a three-piece band. So maybe they were, hiding behind Rush a little bit as far as the fact that you already had a very popular three-piece band from Canada. And so they got obscured by Rush. So that might be true. But as far as the United States, he says the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, politically, I mean, we were on RCA Records, which was of the 7 major labels, they were number 6. And then we sued them and we lost. And then we moved to MCA and they were the 7th. So they were the smallest label. And they were basically the music cemetery of America. We used to call MCA. Yeah, because it was easy to get signed to MCA, but then they didn't do anything because they didn't have a budget to promote anything. So you had this great rock band that went from RCA to MCA, and they didn't get the promotion that they deserved. If anything, with bands like Triumph, you'll get the. I remember because I used to work as a music director. You would get the album from MCA, and this happened with, I think, the Little River Band and with Dennis DeYoung. They sent me albums. They didn't tell me what song to play. They're like, yeah, this is their new album. Okay. All right. So you get it in the mail and you listen to it and you're like, okay, what's the single from this album? And nobody called from MCA to tell me, hey, this Dennis DeYoung album, this song is the song you should play off of it. Same with the Little River Band. And there was a video out for a song by the Little River Band, and they didn't tell me about that. They gave me no information. So anyway, just getting back to Triumph and MCA, it's a weak record label. You've got a great band on a weak record label, and they're making the case here. Rick Emmett is making the case that, hey, this isn't helping us with the industry. Well, Rick, a lot of these other bands that have gotten in that probably don't deserve to get in, they didn't sell as many albums as Triumph did. And I don't know if the record labels they were on mattered that much. I think it mattered more to the Hall of Fame if they met a certain criteria. So they were looking for a certain type of band. When I was talking to Andy Green a few years ago, and he writes or interviews for Rolling Stone, I think he does both. He basically said to me, hey, we're really trying to change here at Rolling Stone. I said, dude, nobody trusts you guys. Nobody, like the normies don't trust you. They want their bands in the Hall of Fame. You're waiting too long. You're not writing anything positive. Yeah, you're covering Journey. You have to cover Journey because they're just so big. Now they've got the greatest song ever written. You're going to ignore that? The fans did that, by the way. The fans did that. The industry did nothing. The industry came along later on and said, oh, we're going to capitalize on this song. Now, if some dude on a skateboard drinking some cranberry juice wants to have Magic Power on in the background over on TikTok, somebody could turn that song into like a Don't Stop Believin' Part 2. Is it as interesting? Yeah, I think it is. But again, I'm cut from a different cloth or whatever. I'm from a different era. And there's a bunch of great songs by Triumph, songs that you forgot that they did that used to be on the radio. I used to freak people out by playing slightly deeper tracks from Triumph that were on rock stations. And they were like, I know this song. I used to hear this song all the time. I don't hear it anymore. Where did you find that? I feel like it's still there. The albums are still out there to listen to. So Rick Emmett basically saying that the industry is against them, which I would agree. He says, so voting wise, we were never that big. We didn't sell enough records. We didn't have enough of a commercial industrial kind of impact to have it be that people go, oh yeah, I remember when they went quadruple platinum, he continued. Well, he says, we never did go quadruple platinum. We struggled to get gold up to platinum, and it would eventually happen with some of the records, but not very many of them. And then you're in a world where there's Journey. Well, they went like 7 times platinum, 10 times platinum. He says there's Foreigner. There's some noise this year about Foreigner. There's probably nothing in their catalog that was under 5 or 6 times platinum. He says they deserve to be in there. They really do. So with more than 15 million albums sold, Triumph's commercial success is certainly nothing to scoff at. And numerous Hall of Fame inductees have had lower career numbers. Still, as Emmett sees it, his band and Foreigner have been ignored for the same reason. He talks about Jan Wenner, the prejudice at Rolling Stone, and the Hall of Fame co-founder Jan Wenner, who was booted last year. It bled through the entire board of that thing, which was no, we're only going to recognize the truly great. And the thing that defines truly great is what I say is truly great. I like Rick Emmett. He's saying the quiet part out loud. I like that. And he thought Foreigner and Rush and Styx and Triumph, he thought all that stuff was crap. And he would hire writers, Andy Green, he would hire writers, I'm not accusing Andy, to write stuff in Rolling Stone that would say, yeah, these bands are crap. They're terrible. And so that became sort of the standard thing. Yeah, well, no, we're not going to put them in the Hall of Fame. They're crappy. There you go. I think he sums it up really well. I mean, you had a whole class of people, and I do mean class because they are of a different class than you and I, who are all erudite and thinking they're super well educated. And, you know, they write these reviews of concerts where it's comical because they're so busy trying to be creative with the writing that they miss the entire point of the show. It's like the person with the cell phone out during the entire show. Did you see the show at all? Well, I got video footage of it. Yeah, but did you watch it? Did you immerse yourself in it? Well, I was there and I had my phone. And so it's the same thing with the creative writers. And this is the class of people who have been knocking this music for over 40 years, close to 50 in some cases. So again, go back to like the Guess Who. Forget Triumph, right? The Guess Who aren't in the Hall of Fame. Bachman Turner Overdrive, another great Canadian band. They're not in the Hall of Fame. So Rick Emmett, you know, he's saying we're way down the list. And he's probably right. I mean, go back and listen to that catalog. Go back and listen to individual Triumph albums. Go right back to their RCA days. And you're going to hear a band out of the box that is just doing everything that a great melodic rock band does. And they're muscular and they're interesting and their songs are hopeful and optimistic. Again, that also, he didn't mention that, but his songwriting really pushes against this more doom and gloom, dark and negative outlook that gets other bands into the Hall of Fame. Just boom. Of course, they're going in. They're artistic. They're not happy. They're writing songs that make you feel like crap after you've listened to the lyrics. So anyway, here's a band that'll make you feel good, mostly, when you listen to it. This is Grand, Second to None. So yeah, they have that in common with Triumph. And this is available to purchase if you want a copy. You go to Frontiers Music. I'll try to find a link to this because, again, a lot of places don't carry new CDs. You can go stream it, go download it if you prefer to do that. But you should really try to support these bands if you enjoy the music. You know, makes a great coaster. Like I always say, put your adult beverages right on there and enjoy the music. Also, folks, thanks for watching. If you want to support this channel, I really do need the support. Last month was the worst month this channel has had since like 2017. So I appreciate all those folks who have stepped up over on Patreon. As YouTube members, you get early watching privileges if you subscribe over there as a YouTube member. And then buy me a coffee, which is kind of like a one-way donation thing where technically you can buy me a coffee, you know, an expensive Starbucks latte, whatever it is you want to purchase over there. That helps me out. I appreciate everybody who continues to support what I do. And again, please pray for peace in the Middle East as things are getting a little bit crazy over there, where thousands of people are now, you know, without a place to live. And I don't care where you side or what your opinion is on the politics of it. It's a humanitarian disaster. So we need to pray for peace in the Middle East and around the world and in your own heart. God bless everyone. Talk to you later.